call out some names that you might be familiar with. Spend your time cultivating your relationships. Because, and not just for economic reasons, but we were talking in Insight, and I was saying that particularly those that are trying to live a life that is ruled by his instructions, you're exactly what society is looking for. They want to go into business with you. They want to marry you if they can, and if they can't, they want a friends with benefits situation. They want to win your trust because they are certain that you're genuine. They know they're not. See, a thief wants to be partners with an honest person. A thief don't want to partner up with another thief. A liar wants to partner up with somebody that don't lie as well as they do. They want to partner up with somebody that tries to walk in integrity. Dishonest people, they want to be in the company of honorable people because they think they can hide. And I'm not saying, listen, we are here to help when we can, how we can, but we do need to apply a little more wisdom and not be led by our feelings alone. Because that's how we sometimes can get in situations and we end up maybe not brokenhearted, but we end up, so disappointed. So disappointed. I have driven them. I myself, Yah saying, I myself will gather what remains of my flock from all the countries where I have driven them and bring them back to their homes, and they will be fruitful and increase their numbers. I will appoint shepherds over them who will shepherd them. Then they will no longer be afraid or disgraced, and none will be missing, says Yah. So that's good news. None will be missing. And so again, I'm telling you, even in your circle of friends, because it doesn't always have to be a situation where somebody's trying to marry you or something like that. But I will say this, and Yah's all for that, and we're all for that. I'm just saying, even in friendships, I'm not saying be unkind, but be watchful, folks, because I'm telling you, you're exactly what they're looking for. And it's for their pleasure, not yours. See, when they know you're trying to live right, they are very much aware, well, when I mess up and he or she find out, they gon' forgive me. Or they'll be mad for a while. But, with the way they live and man, with the way they spend so much time, man, they just trying to. People want to benefit. People want to benefit off your life's work. Let me say that again. People want to benefit off your life's work. Continue to be watchful. I'm not saying don't help people. I'm not saying be the person. If they're drawn to you, you be a thermostat, not a thermometer. Again, you as a Torah follower, you be the thermostat, not the thermometer. A thermometer only registers what the temperature is. The thermostat controls it. So if they want to be your friend, then you need to require that they be as genuine as you. And you don't do this by quoting a bunch of scriptures. You do it by walking in your integrity in every facet of life, even when it might be to your detriment. But the detriment should not, if you can help it, don't let the detriment be from someone else operating out of their evil inclination. The detriment will be, Yah said, do this, then I must do it. It's going to hurt me, but I'm going to do it because he said do it. And if we keep that in mind, see, that will help us. It will help. It won't stop it. It will help us from being manipulated. Too many people with good hearts, we get played. We don't like to admit it. I mean, we don't, I pray this is safe ground that we can talk. But we get played. We get played. You ever been in business with somebody, come to find out, maybe they might be going in the cash register. They might be eating up the profit. They might be drinking up the profit. And you're going without, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're there on time. You staying late. You trying to make the thing grow so everybody can eat. Some days your partner might not even show up. Don't have to be business. It can even be a friendship. Anybody ever had a friendship where you doing all the work, you doing all the calling, you doing all the planning? You go to the restaurant, y'all sitting there eating, you got on a $300 suit, they got on a $1,500 suit, check come, can you get me? Man, you got on a $1,500 suit and you can't pay for lunch? See, listen. We have a part to play in this. He's saying, and I know he's talking about David and all that, but we're going to stay here. This applies today. He's saying, I myself will gather what remains of my flock from all the countries where I have driven them and bring them back to their homes. And they will be fruitful and increase their numbers. I will appoint shepherds over them who will shepherd them. They will no longer be afraid or disgraced, and none will be missing, says Yah. But a lot of times, man, we done took some licks trying to be kind. We have. Even something so small. Another thing. People want to sometimes attach themselves to you because you keep your word. You don't just willy-nilly, yeah, I do that. Yeah, no, don't listen. And y'all, let's stop being people pleasers. I'm going to tell you something about a people pleaser. They are miserable people. See, you can't make everybody happy. And that's a mistake to try to do that. Now, I'm not saying don't be mean. Most of you are very nice people, for the most part. But no, and I'm serious. I mean, yeah, we can laugh because but I'm serious. I'm serious. We got a target on our back. I'm telling you, we got a target on our back. Man, folks is finding out. Folks that thought they had, finding out they don't have. Who you think they coming looking for? They coming looking for you. They're coming looking for us. And they know all they got to do is throw in a few hallelujahs, praise the Lord, how are you? I love you. And I'm not saying they don't mean it. Some might mean it. But we also talked about when Donnie was going over Pastor Hoard was going over the different types of soil. And he brought up the thing about where Yeshua was talking to that young rich ruler. And of course, we all know the story and the way it was written. And a lot of times the narrative has been twisted, particularly a lot of the stuff that come out of this country. Now, I'm not going to say that this is the only country, but they've done a lot that's thrown a lot of people off from how Yeshua is even seen to this thing I'm about to share with you. Remember, most of us know by heart whether he walked away because the way it was taught to us, Jesus told him, well, give everything away you have and come follow me. And of course, because he had so much, he was like, I ain't doing that. And he walked away. Well, if you read other translations and you read some other commentaries and things of this nature, he didn't mean for him to give up everything. He was just saying, of what you have, share with the less fortunate. See, because we got to live every day. And see, what I was trying to share with the class was Torah, his instructions, when he talks about success, he's talking about his kind of success, and his kind of success in us following and trying to do it his way, the way he said, and in his order. It sets you up where you can help, but you're giving out of your abundance. See, now here's something that we all have been guilty of. We've given out of our foundation. And you should not do that. If your foundation is shaky, and somebody come and they want to take another brick out of your foundation, now you on shaky ground. But I'm not saying that I got to protect myself. I'm saying that because Torah teaches us to give. But give with wisdom. See, every sad story isn't for you to come to the rescue. See, some of us in our quest because we want to be helpful. Sometimes we get a whipping because we're sticking our nose in Yah's business. Because see, sometimes even among his children, sometimes he's the one bringing the discomfort. It might be your spouse. It might be your mom. It might be your dad. It might be your cousin. It might be your favorite coworker. And we think, okay, yeah, let me get in. And he's, I wasn't talking to you. Go sit down. Oh, you won't? Okay. Here's an extra bill. Your roof leaking. Your tire's flat. See, sometimes he's saying, Barry, go sit down. You got your own stuff to work on. You got weeds in your backyard and front yard too. And I'm not saying be selfish. But again, sometimes in our quest, we want to help, and that's good. But again, society is full of people that will allow you to help them to your detriment. And again, please do not think I'm telling you, don't help nobody. I'm not saying that. But when he says not one, nobody will be missing. And I'm saying, well, and he said it's going to be that way. Well, if nobody's missing, that must mean we're going to get it together and we're going to realize we got to work together. We got to care about each other for real. Even when we don't see the instructions the same way. And that can happen. Somebody that doesn't see the instructions the same way, they're not your enemy. If we would communicate with one another, we might learn something. And when I say listening, again, let us learn to listen, not to respond, but learn to listen to understand what's being said. Again, let me say that again. Learn to listen, not to respond. Learn to listen to understand. Let me go a little further. Listen at this. The Most High says, these days are coming, says Yah, when I will raise a righteous branch for David. He will reign as king and succeed. He will do what is just and right in the land. Now, right here, it says, I will raise a righteous branch for David. You can take David's name out and put your name in. See, if we're his children, he wants only the best for us. And I'm not talking about the stuff we heard in the past. I'm not talking that new creation realities stuff that was running rampant for a while. I'm not talking about that. Again, that got started in this country. I could name a lot of stuff that we participated in, but I'm not going to do that. I will raise a righteous branch for David. He will reign as king and succeed. He will do what is just and right in the land. And if you remember a few chapters over, he said, do what is right, do what is just. Remember, I was saying everybody's wondering, well, what do I do now? What do I do now? Who do I listen to? Do what is right and just. Every day, every day, every day, every day. I talked about free will, and I said, listen, the free will is, am I going to obey or not obey? That's the choice. We think when we hear free will, I do what I want. Especially, I'm over 21. Next time I see a 2 and 1, it'll be the 0 behind it. course, I won't be here that long, but see, that's the way we were taught. We were taught free will mean I can do whatever I want to do. And most of us, when we were teenagers, we couldn't wait till we were, what, 21? Because we thought, now, I'm my own person. I'm not going to talk back to my parents, but I heard what they said. But I got to live. How many of us have said that? Don't raise your hands. Don't, just think about it, But I was looking at this thing, and I'm not saying that my thing is the only thing. I'm saying, when I think of free will, I'm saying the free will is, Barry, you can either obey or not obey. But see, once again, the narrative was changed. The narrative was changed from obey and not obey to you can do whatever you please. You 21. And I actually had this happen to me when I was in Texas. We were in an underwriting meeting, and we were trying to come up with some new products. And this fella, name was Malcolm Duke. And I'm not saying he was any kin to that guy out of Louisiana, last name Duke, but nice guy. And I remember he said, well, USF&G, we can do whatever we want. He says, after all, I'm free, white, and over 21. He said that in the meeting. And he realized he didn't mean to say that, but it was in him. But I bust out laughing when he said that, because he was like, oh my, what did I just say? Free, white, and 21. Said it just as loud and proud. But he's a good dude. But again, see, Pop used to say all the time, we've been duped. Because a lot of stuff that, some of us have stood on some stuff. And boy, you look at stuff a little closer, and you look a little closer, and you'd be like, I ain't going that way no more. And then sometimes we'll hear something, and because you heard it from your grandparents, and you might have heard it from your parents, and you might have heard it from whoever, and then you hear something and you go, oh my goodness. Or you've been reading that same scripture, you think you knew it, you could recite it backwards, forwards, and sideways, and one day you read it again and the light bulb go off. He says, not a one will miss. He will reign as king and succeed. He will do what is just and right in the land. In his days, Judah will be saved. Israel will live in safety. Well, right now, the land, anyway, and again, even that, the land is in turmoil. I'm just saying, and I understand that. And this is no indictment on anybody. It says, Israel will live in safety, and the name given to him will be Yahweh Sitkanu, Yahweh our righteousness. See, what am I saying? What I'm saying, get in the instructions, learn them, and try to walk them out. Try to live them out. Live them out. Do a little more than just reciting them. Do a little more than just memorizing them. Take them and apply them. Even, okay, you and your best friend are having a conversation, and one of you say something out of the way. Well, no, I'm going to give them a piece of my mind. No, 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 no. What does Torah have to say about that? Well, golly, if she burned my eggs in the morning, what does Torah have to say about that? If they didn't close a drawer, what does Torah have to say about that? How should I react? How should I react when your team lose? Does Torah say anything about that? How we should conduct and carry ourselves? If they got cheated and lost, oh, now that, God, you got to give me a break on that. They cheated. He said, what? Do what is right. Do what is just. I'm picking those things because what I'm trying to convey to you is what saints, what we got to do is learn how to live it. Live it. See, we're learning right now. We're learning right now. But we get to apply it the minute we walk out that door. That's when we up. Yeah. Yeah. Last night I had last night I had some of my classmates over, and about of the 41 of us that are still here, 40 of us that are still here. About 20, 25, about 25, maybe 27. They came, and you know it stormed and it rained, and some of them got there late, and I tell you, I had a bad attitude yesterday evening. We're always trying to keep our finances in our community, you know. Do this. And I tell you, I ain't gonna say nothing, but I'm gonna tell you, I didn't have the best experience when I went to pick up my food. And I spent quite a bit of money. And I was like, you know, they act like I was in there for a $5 meal. I'm not gonna call the name of the place. It was two, and I sent one of my buddies to go to another place because we wanted macaroni and cheese and the greens from another place in Richmond. We know our food is excellent, but our customer service, not the best. But what did Torah have to say about that? And now I was mad, and I knew I had to teach this. But I was mad sitting in the place. My order was supposed to be ready at 4 o'clock. Guests were coming at 6. I got there 3:45. I left there at 5:30. I ordered, and they hit my credit card that Monday, Memorial Day. Call the next place. I'm not going to call that name either. The lady said, well, can you, and she said, well, can you go online and order? I said, no. I want to give you my credit card, and I want to order. And she said, well, I'm going to have to call you back. So she did. She called back. And I said, well, I won't be coming to get it. And I gave the guy's name that'll be coming, and she wrote all that down, even on his phone number, because she won't make sure. And I'm like, yeah, but man, I'm thinking to myself, how many people going to come and ask for the order that I ordered. But I, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. What? Well, how about when I was coming out of the other place and nobody helped me carry the food out? They didn't even give me a box. I mean, and I had these big pans of stuff. And I said, man. And then, well, I better not say that. Then this girl said, would you like some help? Oh. But I didn't respond angrily, but I went up to the register and I told that lady, I said, if you check my ticket, I was supposed to pick this up at 4 o'clock. I said, nah, you know, it was almost a $700 order at that place. Now, they do a nice business, but they don't have customers coming in there every day dropping $700. So I've thought, you know, and this, well, and so I said to her, I said, listen, it's 5:30. And, you know, I wasn't mad at her because it really wasn't her fault. Probably wasn't anybody's fault, but they just didn't seem to care. And I'm like, what's wrong with us? See, we gotta stop doing one another this way. Well, getting back to my boy, when he went to pick this stuff up, he gave his name because I said he would be picking it up. They didn't know nothing about it. And he's calling me, and I'm breaking my neck trying to get back to the house. And he said, Green, they ain't got your order. And the girl said, I don't care what your name is. We don't have the order. And it was a young lady. But me and Mac, we called her a few names. No curse words. But the lady that took the order told the assistant manager. And it took the assistant manager, when she saw my name on the, I guess on Mac's phone, she go, oh, that's who, whatever the girl name was talking about, and they had the food. And I said, Mac, I said, this day isn't going well. I said, man, it's 5:30. I'm just leaving so-and-so and so-and-so. And he said, that's what you get for dealing with our people. Oh, boy. But, see, we still should have walked in our integrity. Well, I'm going to speak for myself. He got to deal with his. In fact, I shouldn't even be saying his. I'm telling you what I did. I had some bad feelings. I was mad. I said, man, you know, I ought to call no, what I said was, you know what, that's all right. I hope they enjoy. I said, because I ain't never coming back here no more. That's what I said in there. But when I got there and everybody enjoyed the food so immensely. But see, my attitude was bad. I was mad. See, now, when I'm spending my money and I ain't putting down no $3, and it's something I need to work on, but I expect excellence. Because, see, I'm not going to cheat you. At least it's not my intent. I remember one time I owed my good friend James some money, and I forgot. And we know one another well enough. He could just say, hey, enjoy talking to you. Where's my money? And I was like, oh my gosh. I'm real funny when it comes to money. I am. And I need to work on that. So what does Torah have to say about that? But, after I had calmed down, you're all anxious and everything. So chances are I'll probably use them again. But I do wish that we took our businesses a little more serious. Even in my business, if somebody gave me a $70 tip, I'd be happy. I'm like, and then look, they charged 20% gratuity, and it was a pickup. I didn't understand that. Uh, 20%. And then they had all. I said, my goodness, I'm in the wrong business. That's what I said because we know you all took care of this over the phone, but they had me sign the ticket, Because I said, well, you already they had got paid, because when you give them that last 3 codes or something, what I had to sign the ticket for. But I complied. But I'm trying to convey to you, I'm trying to say to you, see, Torah's not just for church. Torah's not just for when you are with your, as we like to say, and I'm going to stop saying it, but when we say, when you with your saved friends. When you with your saved friends. Me personally, I'm going to stop saying that. And I have my reasons why I'm going to stop saying that. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I'm saying I'm going to stop saying that. So I'm not saying you got to do that. But I'm saying it's the instructions are for every facet of life. Now, it won't tell you, Barry, get another phone other than Motorola. It don't tell me that. But it may tell you, hey, son, maybe you need to get something a little more up to date or whatever, or something like that. But it covers every aspect of life, even the little things that, well, we'll call them no harm things. It's Torah's there to help straighten those things out too. So his instructions are to make us, or to help mold and shape us to where it's a joy for him to have us in his presence. I know for me, a lot of times, I see it, Red. A lot of, and I'm serious when I say this. There have been times in my life where I've, gone to the Most High. But when I've been living cruddy, I just said, Lord, I know I stink. Will you just hold your nose, because I need to talk to you. I really feel that way. I feel that way for me. And I'm not saying this trying to project some kind of image to you. I'm just being real. I'm just being transparent to you. I literally feel sometimes, but you stink so bad. Listen, you've been out doing yard work and you need some gas or something, and you go to the gas station and you always run into somebody that you, oh my God, I must look a mess. I've gone to Home Depot. I ain't care though that day. And wouldn't you know, I ran into somebody I work with, and they had never, only time they saw me, I had on a shirt and tie or suit or something. When they didn't even know it was me. I mean, jacked up. And it was somebody that I just enjoyed being in her company. I mean, you know, we're a professional friend type thing. And, but you know, I mean, haven't you ever been around people that you just like being around? They pleasant, and you want to be pleasant. You're glad you brushed your teeth. You're glad you showered, got deodorant. You know, that's how, when I leave home every day I say, hey, if you get trapped on the elevator, is it you they smell? All right. Now, that's what I do. I see, Reg, you done closed it up. Let us delve more into the instructions and let us begin to apply them to the minute areas of our life. Because when we do that, it cultivates maturity and growth. It works for me, it'll work for you. And no, we're not there yet, but we're trying to get there. Yeah, so whenever, you know, we getting ready to fly off, say, hey, wait a minute, hold it. What does this instruction say about that? God bless you.